Dota 2, the modern iteration of the Warcraft 3 custom game that defined a genre, has cemented itself as the definitive version of the franchise. Yet, despite its many improvements, there are elements of Dota 1 that some players argue were superior, particularly in spellcasting mechanics, hero designs, and certain iconic characters that never made the transition. Today, we'll dissect these aspects and analyze how Dota 1's complexity shaped the game, while also acknowledging why Dota 2 ultimately became the new standard. One of the most defining characteristics of Dota 1 was its reliance on Warcraft 3's engine, which introduced unique limitations and intricacies in spell execution. For example, casting animations in Dota 1 were tightly bound to Warcraft 3's unit behaviors. Many abilities had delays or strange mechanics due to the engine's constraints, such as Pudge's meat hook not being instant but rather a projectile that required perfect timing. Meanwhile, Dota 2, with its custom Source 2 engine, has refined spellcasting fluidity. Abilities are now more consistent, responsive, and visually intuitive. While this modernization enhanced playability, some argue that it removes certain skill-expressive elements. Dota 1's janky but rewarding spell interactions made high-level play more intricate, whereas Dota 2 leans towards reliability. Several heroes from Dota 1 were left behind in the transition, either due to balance concerns, redundancy, or copyright issues. Some of the most iconic examples include the old version of Terrorblade. While Dota 2 retained a reworked version of Terrorblade, his original form had a more micro-intensive playstyle, akin to Nagasarin and Broodmother. His metamorphoses functioned differently, and his old reflection ability had unique mechanics. The old version of Tinker. The Dota 1 version of Tinker had an even more chaotic and unpredictable playstyle. His rearm interactions and certain item synergies created scenarios where his skill ceiling was arguably higher than his Dota 2 counterpart. The old version of Lone Druid. In Dota 1, Lone Druid had a more intricate micromanagement playstyle, with nuanced control over both the hero and his spirit bear. The old version's interactions with items and spellcasting required more precise execution, which made him a favorite among high-skill micro-enthusiasts. These heroes, while beloved, may never return in their original forms, as Dota 2's balancing philosophy has shifted toward refining existing characters rather than reintroducing potentially unbalanced relics from the past. Dota 2's visual overhaul provided heroes with high-definition models and refined animations, but not all redesigns were unanimously praised. Anti-Mage. In Dota 1, Anti-Mage had a more ominous, dark warrior aesthetic reflecting his lore as a vengeful outcast. His Dota 2 model, while polished, leans toward a more generic, clean-cut look, which some argue lacks the original's intimidating presence. Pudge. Old Pudge had a grotesque, more monstrous appearance that embodied his horror-like persona. Dota 2's version is more cartoonish, sacrificing some of that raw, nightmarish aesthetic. Faceless Void. Originally, Faceless Void had a more ethereal, alien-like visage with less bulk but more mystique. His Dota 2 counterpart, while still imposing, has a bulkier frame and a more refined but arguably less enigmatic look. That being said, Dota 2's design choices also have their merits. Higher graphical fidelity, clearer ability readability, and more expressive animations make heroes more immersive and easier to understand at a glance. Despite the nostalgic charm of Dota 1, it's undeniable that Dota 2 represents a necessary evolution. The modern engine removes frustrating Warcraft 3 limitations, enhances competitive integrity, and provides a sustainable platform for updates and esports. Elements like dedicated servers, better matchmaking, and ongoing content support ensure that Dota 2 remains viable for years to come. While some might argue that certain elements of Dota 1 had a distinct flavor that was lost, the overall improvements Dota 2 brings makes it the superior version for both casual and professional players. Dota 1 laid the foundation for everything we love about Dota 2. It had its quirks, its unique hero designs, and its spellcasting idiosyncrasies. That made it a true test of skill. But at the same time, Dota 2 has refined and expanded upon those ideas, creating a more polished and competitive experience. In the end, both versions have their strengths, but Dota 2's dominance is a testament to how well it has adapted and evolved. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more gaming comparisons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.